So in previous editions of Dry January, we've talked about dry barrel sprinklers, the design considerations, what they are. Now I want to talk about the inspection and testing requirements for dry barrel sprinklers. So if you look below, we're in NFPA 25, which is the standard for the inspection, testing, and maintenance of water-based fire protection systems, sprinkler systems being a water-based fire protection system. We're in chapter 5 because it's covering sprinkler systems, and 5.2 is going to cover our inspections. So a dry barrel sprinkler is going to be no different from an inspection standpoint than any other sprinkler. So we're going to need to do an annual floor level inspection of the dry barrel sprinklers as well as all the other sprinklers in that system. We're going to need to look for signs of leakage, corrosion that's detrimental to the performance, any physical damage, any loss of the fluid in that the bulb. So if we have a bulb here, looking for any loss of the fluid there, any loading that could be detrimental to the performance, as well as any paint on the sprinkler that's detrimental to its performance. Now, when it comes to testing, it's going to be a little bit different. So we're going to go into 5.3, and I'm going to go right to the dry sprinkler requirements. But if we've got sprinklers that were installed more than 50 years, then we're going to need to look at either replacing them or sending out a representative sample for testing. So that's our regular sprinklers. And then it changes based on the type of sprinklers that we have. So if we scroll down, we see where dry sprinklers have been installed for 20 years, we need to do one of the following: either replace those sprinklers or send off a representative sample to then be tested. Now, notice here it looks like there's some highlights here. So there has been a change in the 2023 edition to this frequency. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the changes. We'll go back to the 2020 edition here. Used to be that dry sprinklers installed needed to be tested every 15 years. Now that's changed and increased to 20 years. Now that increase in time has come from us having more data on those sprinklers when we're doing the test, refining the manufacturing process, understanding how these sprinklers react in the field. So we're able to increase that amount of time before we either replace them or send them out for a representative sample. So that's just something to pay attention to. If you do have dry sprinklers in your facility, that you're going to need to have them tested now at 20 years. That's, again, different than what other sprinklers are. Depending on the type of sprinkler, it might be 75, 50, 20 years, or 25 years that you're looking at based on the type of sprinkler. But for dry sprinklers, every 20 years, we're going to have to either replace them or send them out for a representative sample. Now, if you're interested in learning more about maintaining a building's fire sprinkler system, I'm going to link a blog below. Goes over some of the inspection, testing, and maintenance requirements out of NFPA 25, who can do the ITM, why it's important, and things like that. And again, stay posted for some more Dry January videos, and I'll see you again later.